Good morning children. I welcome you all in this video where I'm going to talk about a topic from class 9 science from chapter 13, that is why do we fall ill. And the topic I'm going to deal specifically is immunity and principles of vaccination. Let's begin with the immunity. So the very first thing is, what is immunity? Immunity is the capability of a body to resist almost all types of organisms or toxins that tend to damage the tissues and organs. So this particular capability of our body, where the body can resist the harmful organisms and the toxins released by them as well as cancer, is called immunity. So when we talk about immunity, there are two types of it. One is innate immunity, another is adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is less specific component of immunity. What does that mean? That means it does not have different mechanism for different creatures or different infectious agent. It has common mechanisms to deal with all types of creatures or all types of microbes or infectious agent which can cause any disease in our body, and it provides first line of defense. So whenever any infection occurs in the body, this particular immunity tries to shut down or tries to suppress that infection. Innate immunity is present in our body since birth itself, and this particular immunity gets activated when the harmful creatures or the pathogens, they release certain chemicals in our body. So what are the defensive mechanisms are used by innate immunity? First thing is anatomical barrier, where we are talking about skin. Like our skin does not allow any pathogen to penetrate it and enter into the body and cause any sort of infection. So skin, it protects us. So it is one sort of barrier. Another is mucous membrane. Even if any sort of pathogen enters into the body, we have mucus lining in our body where these pathogens get trapped. So skin and mucous membrane, they all comes under anatomical barrier. Second thing is physiological barrier, where temperature, you must have seen that we have fever. So why do we get fever? Fever we get that represents we have any sort of infection in the body, something is not good. Okay, any infection is there, and that is why the body raises the temperature so that it can suppress that infection. Temperature, low pH, even the chemical mediators, they comes under physiological barrier. Other than anatomical barrier or physiological barriers, we also have phagocytic barriers or inflammatory barriers, where WBCs comes into picture. WBCs like macrophages. Macrophages, they engulf the pathogens, they engulf the foreign particle, and that is why they are called phagocytic barriers. And then certain other chemicals are involved, which comes under inflammatory barriers. So these are all barriers which are present in our innate immunity. Second type of immunity is adaptive immunity. What is this adaptive immunity? It is a specific component of the immunity where it is capable of recognizing and selectively eliminating the specific foreign microorganisms and molecules. What does that mean? That means adaptive immunity releases antibodies, which are a specific type of proteins, and these antibodies are specific for a specific antigen, means foreign bodies. So any sort of pathogen, for example poliovirus, so for poliovirus specific antibodies are being formed in our body, so that becomes specific only for poliovirus. For another virus we need to have another set of antibodies, so it is very specific component of immunity. Let's talk about features of adaptive immunity. Now the features are antigenic specificity. As I told you, it is very specific. For one microbe, the antibodies are specifically formed inside the body. Second is diversity, means there are various groups of antibodies can be formed. Immunological memory. Now what is this immunological memory? Once the infection has caused you, or once the infectious agent has entered inside the body, interacted with the antibodies, after that antibodies, they keep memory of that particular antigen, that this particular virus or this particular bacteria has infected me already, so they know which kind of antibody needs to be prepared against them. Next thing is recognition of self and non-self. Means this particular immunity, it understand which are the self cells and which are the non-self. So it can differentiate between the foreign particles, foreign antigens, and the antigens which are present in our body itself. So it can differentiate between self and non-self antigens. So adaptive immunity, when we talk about adaptive immunity, requires WBCs. What kind of WBCs? Specifically, it requires lymphocytes and antigen presenting cells. Lymphocytes, there are two types of lymphocyte. One is B cell, also called B lymphocyte. Another is T cell, also called T lymphocyte. So both this B and T lymphocytes, they are participating in the formation of antibodies against the specific antigen or against the specific pathogen, where both B and T cells are important. Their collaborative work let or allows our body to form antibodies against the specific antigens. Fine. I've already talked about antibodies. These are a specific type of globular proteins which can fight against the infections, and it is specific for a specific infection. And antigens are generally, we use antigen word for foreign particles which enters inside the body, but this is not this term is somewhat misleading. As antigen, we also have certain self antigens, right? So but here we will consider antigens as foreign particle which enter inside the body and get interacted with the antibodies and start certain antigenic reactions. So anything which can begin the antigenic reactions are called antigens. So how does antibody formation take place? This is very important if you want to understand about the principle of vaccination. So first of all, you consider that we have a naive B cell. Naive B cell means newly formed B cell which has not interacted with any antigen yet. So it has inexperienced B cell, we can say. So we have this naive B cell. So this B cell needs to interact with the antigen first. So what happens that when the B cell interacts with the antigen, and this interaction, after the interaction, they form antigen and B cell complex. This complex is identified by T cells. Now when T cells identifies this complex, it goes there and it binds with the B cell and releases certain chemicals. So by taking up those chemicals, which are called cytokines, B cell divides, it differentiates. It differentiates into memory cell and plasma cell, where plasma cell forms the antibody and memory cell keeps the memory of that particular antigen. So let's understand it with the help of a diagram. So you can see here we have a B cell, and on the B cell we have certain receptor. These receptor can bind with the antigen. As here you can see the antigens which are present on the body of bacteria, it binds with the receptor of B cell. Now they have formed a complex, okay, antigen and antibody complex here. This complex is identified by this T cell. Helper T cell is a type of T cell. And then the T cell, they releases these cytokines which are taken up by the B cells, and B cells then divides into two varieties. One is the plasma cells which forms antibodies, another is memory cells which keeps the memory of an antigen or memory of the infection. Based on this particular feature of B cell, that first B cell needs to interact with antigen and then it will be able to form antibodies against it, we have designed the process of vaccination. So what is this vaccination? vaccination is administration of the vaccine so that immune system can be developed and body can be protected from these harmful infections. And what is a vaccine? A vaccine is a biological preparation of killed microorganism or living attenuated organisms or living fully virulent organisms that is administered to produce or artificially increase immunity from a particular disease. So what is been administered orally or via injection, that is a vaccine, and the process is called vaccination. So what basically happens in vaccination? So as you have already seen that B cell needs to first interact with the antigen, then only it will be able to form antibodies against it. So what we do, we administer weak viruses or weak infectious agent or maybe the killed form of infectious agent into the body so that this B cell can interact with the weaker form or the killed form, so that we will not get the infections in the body, and simultaneously B cell will be able to generate antibodies against these infections. So when the strong virus or strong antigen enters into the body will be ready along with the antibodies, and it will also have the memory of it. So what we are doing, we in advance we are injecting the weaker forms just as a demo form for B cells, so that B cells can keep their antibodies ready against the infection. So this is the actual principle of vaccination. So thank you, children.